Welcome to the Holley Effect, where voices rise and minds connect. The Holley Effect. The Holley Effect.
All right, well, welcome. This is the Holley Effect. I'm so excited. This is our first episode, and this is a podcast that we will be doing at least quarterly where I engage with staff and students, and we just have amazing conversations about the school, about our programs, initiatives, what's on their mind, and we have these authentic and real conversations. I think it's important as superintendent for me to have these conversations, and then also for you to be a part of these conversations as well.
Who is Dr. Holley, and what does it mean to be on top of two campuses but one shared mission? I'm gonna ask you, Dr. Holley.
So Dr. Shanti Holley is an educator. I knew I wanted to be an educator since I was in elementary school, teaching my dolls in my room and having a classroom. So I think number one, I'm an educator. I'm doing what I absolutely love to do. I'm someone who's gonna always advocate and believe in our students and what they can do when they leave here. So I listened to Lovely Day. No, I can't sing, y'all. I also like, oh my God. I'm living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden, living my life like it's golden. And I think the last one is, oh, Fine by Mary J. Blige. Listen, everything is always gonna work out. It's gonna be. Those are my three songs. Those are my top three songs.
What does a superintendent do?
Wow, a superintendent, I'm learning, make sure everybody does their job. That entails making sure that our administration, our staff feel supported, giving them the resources and tools to be able to thrive in their classrooms, make sure that they have the equipment that's needed, that they have a high engaging and high quality curriculum, making sure that when they come into work, we have an environment which is supportive of them. Is also making sure that they give the students what they need, right? From our social emotional learning initiatives to our mental health initiatives, making sure that our students are placed at the top of success. It's also important to recognize that as a leader, you're making sure that you're supporting the system. You can't just sit at the top. I have no time to sit at the top because if I'm sitting at the top, I'm not observing what's going on in our school.
What was the moment you realized you wanted to work in education?
So I always knew I wanted to be a teacher. Like I was teaching dolls in my room at like 6 or 7 and I just had a love for it. My parents are educators, so they always instilled in me a love of people and of being of service. So it was just so natural when I got to Winston-Salem State University in North Carolina for me to go into teaching. So I went to special education. I was a special education teacher and I taught in Willingboro. I taught, they called it BD at the time, behavior disorder students. They changed that now as ERI. But I taught and then I decided, you know what? I want to do more. I always knew superintendency was going to be it. So I knew I needed to move up. So I was a vice principal in New Brunswick, as well as a principal in Perth Amboy. Then I came here as an assistant superintendent, and then I became a superintendent. So that's my trajectory with education.
What is a moment that shaped your leadership philosophy?
So I think when I was starting off in education, I was eager. I was extremely eager. I knew that I wanted to teach, but then I wanted to transition into administration. So at the current district I was in, I was so excited because I absolutely loved working in that district and I applied for an administrative position and they said, oh, you know what? You're not ready. And I was disheartened because I had been in that district for a while. I really, really loved the district. And they were like, you're not ready at this time. So I took that and I said, you know what, that's not gonna stop me. I'm still going to apply for other vice principal positions. I know I'm ready. I know what I want to do with my life. And not even 5 months later, I applied to another district and I was hired. And it just let me know that somebody's no is their no, right? It's not my no, okay? I'm gonna continue to persevere and do what I need to do to get where I need to be. So don't let anyone else's no be your no.
How does our mission come to life across BCIT and BCSSD?
I think our mission comes to life by the amazing staff we have. That's really how it comes alive. Like, we have educators that come here day in, day out, teach, learn, build relationships, counsel. I mean, the mission would be nothing without our amazing staff. They are limitless in what they can do. And I think it's my job as superintendent to let them know that I support you, right? Anytime you need anything, any resource, any guidance, any professional development, sometimes a shoulder to cry on, I am here to make sure you get what you need for our students.
Can you share a moment where you learned the importance of student voice?
Well, I think, I have voices at the table, which is my superintendent council meeting with amazing leaders of our school district. And they give it to me real. And I appreciate that, because at the end of the day, the students are who we're creating this experience for, right? We want them to come to our schools, and I would be remiss as superintendent if I don't go directly to them and say, okay, what's the area of strength that we have? What are some areas that we can grow in to make this school district better? So I take student voice extremely serious, and I make it a priority to meet with students, because the only way this district is going to continue to elevate and evolve is by knowing how we can improve this district directly from student perspectives.
Okay, what is a common myth about school and district leadership?
I think a common myth of school leadership is that administrators sit in the office all day. That is not true. I am out hustling and bustling. I make it my priority to visit the buildings at least once a month, to engage with staff and students. I'm in classrooms. I'm doing walkthroughs myself, because I need to inspect what I expect. And I cannot do that in any office. I need to be able to go in the classroom, see what the students are learning, see how the staff are engaging with our students, seeing if our staff is happy, if they have all the resources that they need. So I think that's one myth. I think another myth about school leadership is all about authority. Right? It's really not about authority. It's about how we can work together to make the best possible outcomes for students. I think another thing is, in leadership, you are to be of service to others. People forget about that as well. We're here to serve our students, to serve our families, our communities. And I think that's also a misconception, that you're supposed to be served as a leader. But no, you are to be of service.
What is one thing you wish every student knew, no matter which school they attend?
So I want students to know you can do whatever you want to do when you put your mind to it. Do not let anyone discourage you from your dream. Your dream is not unattainable. You can attain it. I want students to know it'll take dedication, it'll take consistency. It's gonna take some time, but you need to persevere, remain consistent and dedicated to your dream, what you wanna do, and keep going. Do not listen to haters. Do not listen to people who are trying to deter you from what you wanna do. Just continue to persevere confidently through any trials, any tribulations, and accomplish your goal.
In one word, what adjective best describes our districts?
Dedicated. Our staff and students are dedicated to this district. That is the one word. That's it.
What is your superpower as a leader?
So I think one of my superpowers is perseverance. Let me tell you, I'm not going to let anything stop me. Once I have my mind set on something, I'm going to definitely do it. That doesn't matter what obstacle or what boundary is in my way. I'm going to make sure I get it done. And I think that has helped me a lot, because that makes the difference in just, I think, leadership. Most people are going to hit a roadblock. They're like, oh, be discouraged. Oh, I'm not going to do it. No. I'm gonna hit that roadblock and I'm gonna go right around it and go another way. So I think that's important. And then I think secondly is my ability to remain calm. In the midst of a storm, anything could go on, and I remain calm, thinking, reflecting on certain things. So I think those are my two major superpowers as a leader.
What is your vision for BCIT and BCSSSD this year?
The vision that we have for the district has to come alive. And how that comes alive is through my work as well as my team's work. I do not do this alone. I have an amazing team of administrators and staff that bring the work alive through curriculum and instruction, making sure that our students have a high engaging lesson plans, through making sure our schools are safe, making sure that they're operated appropriately. Mission possible, right? That's our theme for the year. And that means every student matters every single day. Our vision is to remove barriers, build strong systems, and ensure every student has access to real learning and real opportunity.
What do you find most rewarding about being superintendent?
We educate our students that are going to be taking care of us when we get old and gray, that are going to be in the hospitals, that are going to fix our plumbing, that are going to be able to take care of us in age. Like, we are producing all of these amazing contributors of society. And I feel gratitude to be able to contribute to their education. I'm from Burlington County, everyone knows that. And just to see all of the students in the community on sometimes a daily, 2 daily basis, but to see the families and to affect change, I think that is what's so important in terms of being in education, to be able to affect change and see the fruits of our labor as educators. It just gives me great joy and gratitude, and I appreciate being able to be your superintendent. All right, email me at theholleyeffect@burlcoschools.org. with all your questions. Even if you want to be a guest on the show, we are open to all suggestions. And don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and whatever else on all of our social media platforms, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. And remember, nothing is impossible. See you next time.